Since we last met, we've had some intervening events of some consequence. The state has decided to step in and establish the ground rules for Uber and Lyft and our TNCs, which fundamentally take those sets of issues off our plate completely. We are, I believe, safe to say, preempted, but for one major issue which we were successful with respect to in our lobbying in Annapolis, which was to create a context in which we can have a surcharge on Uber and Lyft of up to 25 cents to use for transportation purposes. And we fought hard for that right, in part because Uber and Lyft do not make the kind of contribution that many of us feel is appropriate with respect to service to our disabled community, call-and ride community, and other communities that are not served fundamentally by Uber and Lyft. We're at one of those critical times where the industry is facing competition that it has never had before, in a new world in which technology has transformed the way in which people have expectations of services. And so we need to look with fresh eyes at how we are regulating our taxicab industry. And at least for a number of us, we need to look at fresh eyes on a realm that we've never looked at previously, and that is the relationship of the taxicab fleets with their drivers.
I just think it's unwise to assume how rates will evolve. I don't know what's less expensive. I've never ridden an Uber. I always hire our local people when I use a taxi. But so I have no assumptions about how this will evolve into something else in terms of competition and quality and experience and predictability. I personally think that all those are the elements of the private sector. As government people, we just want to make sure that our, as far as I'm concerned at least, that I think our legitimate government interest in all this is ensuring public safety to the extent we can, and fair access to transportation services.
The taxi cabs are in a very, very competitive marketplace right now. So it doesn't behoove the taxi cab companies just to randomly pick surge pricing unless there's certainly the demand. Uber claims, which the taxi cabs would probably fall in line with, and say the reason we're using surge pricing is to get more taxi cabs on the road. So if you can't meet demand, the whole idea is you go into a surge scenario to have more taxi guys come out on the road. And the only reason you would have reverse surge pricing would be if there isn't enough demand.
When we first received this proposal, we did not have also on the table a wide array of policies that we are pursuing to bring relief to drivers. This was simply a proposal from the industry to reduce their costs. And in light of all that we are doing to try to help drivers, I am personally comfortable with also allowing the fleet to be a little older and recognize that, as others have stated, if the companies, offer inferior service, they will get results accordingly. So it's a decision that they're going to have to make. But, we need to have some areas of flexibility and allow this industry to try to find, its competitive postures.
I guess I don't see the point of making entry into this market as expensive as possible, which is what I think it means if you let the cab companies sell their extra PVLs. And it does give me heartburn. I feel bad for the drivers who spend $60,000 to $80,000 on a PVL. And I know you and I talked, and we wish there was another way to figure out a way to mitigate some of this. But then to allow a company that paid $500 for a PVL to turn around and throw them on the market seems to be really antithetical to freeing up PVLs for more drivers to be able to buy them and use them. Without going into, I think, a fair amount of debt on top of the rest of it. And I would like drivers to be able to get the PVLs from the county. And if it was up to me, I'd have the companies have to retire their PVLs back to the county if they don't want to use them.
Good work. We've got some more work to do, and again, the goal is, now, Mr. Reamer, my understanding with respect to your digital dispatch, you needed some more time anyway, so now you have it. But do be ready to roll on the 22nd, whatever, with a full-fledged proposal. My hope is between now and then, you'll be able to work it out with DOT so that we have some harmony with respect to this and figure out a mechanism forward that works across the board. Okay? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Did the best we knew how.